What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Punk Rock Radar. Today, we are doing the Punk Connection episode number 3. And if it's your first episode, this is where we bring up a popular band and then try to give you newer bands to check out if you like that popular band. Today, we're going to hit Sum 41, Dillinger 4, The Suicide Machines, Good Riddance, and the Lawrence Arms. We squeezed in Sum 41 last minute because they announced they're breaking up. So we want to make sure we give you some new bands to fill that void. Dylan, what is your first band you're going to recommend for the people if they like Sum 41?
All right. We're heading overseas with a British band. This is a one-man band called Crash 11. And I believe this gentleman, I think he may be in another band. I could be wrong. But anyway, I discovered this band with the newest album that came out last year. I'm sorry, I was wrong. And for some reason, I think I should have included it in my year-end best of list. I don't know if it would have been a top 10 album, but I think I left it off even my honorable mentions for some reason. I could be wrong about that. But this is a very good album. It has it's kind of that metallic tinged melodic punk, not so much pop punk, but definitely that harder Does This Look Infected style of Sum 41 sound. And I think it's a great album. And so definitely check out Crash 11. We were both actually going to recommend this until a few minutes ago. We didn't want to both recommend the same band. So yeah, I know John likes the album too then.
Yeah, and I would also recommend checking out the 2 EPs, Surrounded by Misanthropy and the Crash 11 self-titled. This is the first band I thought of when we said Sum 41. But Dylan already called dibs, so I've got 2 different ones for you. My first one is going to be the band Personal Crisis. They're a newer punk rock band. They put out this album last year on Allegedly Records. It kind of reminds me of a mix of NoFX and Sum 41. I could definitely hear some of Derek Whibley in the vocals. My favorite tracks on here are going to be Courtyards and Gyms and Gone Awry. I think they have one other album that came out before this. I've yet to listen to this one, but I would definitely check this out if you're into Does This Look Infected era Sum 41. This is super aggressive. Definitely leans more towards the skate hardcore punk more than pop punk. So if you like Does This Look Infected era, definitely check out Wasted Days by Personal Crisis. Dylan, what's your number 2 going to be?
All right, my number 2 is going to be Avril Lavigne. No, it's a Punk Rock Radar endorsed Germany's Baxter. This album is their only one, right? They have a few other albums. This is the one that introduced me to them, Between Punk and Bourgeoisie, out now on cassette tape on Punk Rock Radar. Link in the description. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't think of a lot of comparisons to make. Sum 41 has a pretty distinct sound, but this was one of the first to immediately come to mind. Definitely early Sum 41, all killer, no filler kind of feel that I get from Baxter.
Yeah, I can hear it too. And this is a great album. And like Dylan said, it's available on the website, punkrockradarr.com. We have both had it in our best of March list. Go check it out. Go check out Rise, Shadowplay, Videos of Cats, One Step, and the title track. All really good. My last pick is going to be this band Trashed. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay. This is another newer band. They're from Bristol, UK. This is my favorite record by them. It's the Yours Not Mine EP that came out in 2019. I think you're going to hear a lot of Green Day too, but I could definitely hear a little bit of All Killer No Filler and the first album before that. On this, just like the vocal style, the melodies kind of remind me of that. And they put out an album last year too, their debut full length, Happy in Hindsight. From there, go check out All Alone Again and Far Away. just like a really good pop punk album, which is, you know, what Sum 41 is in their spirit. Neither one of us really found one that can mix in those metal elements. I think that's kind of what separates Sum 41 from other bands. But those are our picks. We're going to play some clips. Let us know what you think, and we'll move on to the next band. All right, so the next band we're going to talk about here is Dillinger 4. They've been largely inactive, at least releasing stuff for 15 years. I want to say it was Civil War, the last one. It's been a really long time. My first band, and I don't do this intentionally, but I have to pick Clayface, another punk rock radar records. I got to figure something out with that band. This was on
PRRRR.
Yeah. This is Ailments. It's their full-length record. Came out April 1st. Big things happen at Greenfield Skate Park. Absolute banger. One of the best songs of the year. I said it in that video. I'm going to say it again. This band sounds like they should be from Wisconsin or Minnesota. They're not. They're from the UK. Doesn't change the fact that they put out badass Midwest style orgcore. Dylan, what is your first pick going to be?
I'm going with two Florida bands, one of which has since moved from Florida, but this first one is still in Florida. Caffeines from Orlando. I saw these guys open for MXPX a long time ago. They got a few records. My favorite one is I think it's their first one with the green. Yeah, that one. Yeah, definitely. Like they play like real fast and loose, kind of orgcore meets like that. It's Alive record style pop punk. These guys are a cool band.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check these guys out. I love the album art. I feel like I may have listened to one of these, but this album art is badass. I love it. My next pick, this is my second one in a row. That's a 2023 release. Trying to keep it fresh on this episode. Had some people say you gave us bands that were broken up last episode. Sorry about that. But anyway, I'm going with Maximum Khaki from the Broke Down. Speaking of Red Scare, I'm pretty sure that's where this came out. Came out in January. I've been a fan of these guys for a while now. I heard them first on a split with the Copyrights back in like 08, 09-ish. And this album is just straightforward, orgcore style, Midwest style, pop punk. Honk If You're Horny is my favorite track on here. That's the one I will link at the end of the video. But I mean, Osama Van Halen is just like the most badass song name. Gotta give props there. But yeah, that's going to be my second pick. Dylan, what do you got up next for the D4 fans?
All right. My other Floridian band, I think they've since moved to Indiana. I don't know if they're still active or not. Rational Anthem. Yeah, same description I used for Caffeines, like pretty fast, off the rails. I think they may have been on It's Alive Records at one point. I could be wrong. But they were around the time there was like Masked Intruder and the Turkletons and all those bands. They were pretty active in that scene. And they got a girl singer who's really cool. But the songs definitely have that kind of just sloppy enough to not be like super polished like D4 does.
Yeah. Dude, I love this record. I actually think this may have been a good pick for Sum 41 too, this particular one. But I've got like 4 songs pinned on here. I really like this. This is a great pick. All right, so we're going to play some clips of our Dillinger 4-ish band. So let us know what you think and we'll move on.
Takes you back to a conversation you might not quite
right, keeping with the Florida theme, showing my unabashed bias. We got a third straight Florida band. The Hover Rounds from Tampa, Florida. Local band for me. Just one word.
I saw it there. Yeah, it went too fast. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to complain about recommending bands that aren't together, I'm pretty sure these guys have broken up. But the full length album is fucking awesome. Like, just super fast ska-core. Like, Against All Authority meets Suicide Machines. Really, really great band. If you haven't, I'm sure based on their Spotify listener count, most people have not heard of these guys, but they're super overlooked. Definitely check out this album for sure. This is a great album.
Yeah, my interest is peaked, man. I've never heard of these guys. So I'm going to be checking it out. You guys should too. Ska-core, Suicide Machines. I'm going to keep talking about this band, Dylan, because I think this record is freaking special. It's still in my regular rotation. I don't even have my favorite songs picked out yet. This is Brutal Youth. The album is Rebuilding Gear. Just talked about them on the Best of April. I'm still listening to this album every single day. Definitely has more of like the heavier Suicide Machines feel. I think like the 0305 albums, Matching Some Gasoline and War Profiteering is what I hear mostly on this record. There's no ska at all in here, so if you're looking for ska-core, this isn't it. But they're on Stomp Records, so there's some connection somewhere with the ska. But yeah, this, if you're looking for just like something in the vein of the harder Suicide Machine stuff, like look no further. This is an absolutely special album. It's a merger of Suicide Machines and Kid Dynamite. Mash them together. That's what this album is, and it is special. It is great. It's a lock for my top 10 at the end of the year. So Brutal Youth, Rebuilding Year for the third time. Dylan, what do you got next?
All right, we got a real long broken up band here. This is from Riverside, California, Falling Sickness. So they're from the same town as Voodoo Glow Skulls. Man, the Right on Time album, I really like this. They're way faster than Suicide Machines, but I would say this is like Operation Ivy, like on like speed. Just crazy off the rails ska-core, like souped up Suicide Machines. I would say this album is badass.
Yeah,
and they were on Hopeless.
Yeah, I have very fond memories of this. This is one of the, so Lewis was big on this site, Unix Punks, back in the day, which you can find like any punk record. This is in the age of piracy, and this was the first one I asked for him because I couldn't find it anywhere. So glad you brought it up. I forgot about this for the longest time. Great pick.
One of the fastest like bands I ever heard. So
my next pick is going to be the Bottle Kids, another newer band. They just put out this EP last year. Another not ska band, but another band that reminds me a lot of the Suicide Machines, especially the newer stuff. Revolution Spring, I could hear a lot of it in the Bottle Kids. They're on SBAM now. I think they had a release on Cat's Claw. Just put this on. The part that really hits me most is the way the verses transition to the choruses. I think the Suicide Machines do like a really nice job of kind of opening things up. You know, granted, that's a lot easier when you're going from upstrokes to downstrokes, but these guys just do it. Like when that chorus hits, it is just boom, and you're all in, you're locked in. Big catchy choruses. This is easily one of my favorite bands going right now. You guys have probably seen me wear the shirts in like 3 or 4 episodes. Bottle Kids, Zilch, and also check out the EP from 2019. I got 3 of the 4 songs pinned. This is a killer band. So now we're going to play the clips. Let us know which ones you like, and we will get to the next band.
You're asking yourself why.
right, so up next we are going to talk about the Lawrence Arms. And Dylan, this is like, I know you shit on me for always saying bands sound like No Effects. Like the Lawrence Arms is another band I'm constantly hearing from newer bands, and I think it's really prevalent in this band here. This was in my top 5 albums last year. Moonraker, The Forest. I think it's mostly like the vocal delivery is what I hear. But this album is phenomenal. It has like a real heavy feel to it, like emotionally heavy. But it has like a lot of that Fat Wreck catchiness, poppiness to it. Mouthful of Rust is my favorite song on here. But this is like, if you like the heaviness and kind of lyrical content of Lawrence Arms, but you also like the faster songs like Apathy and Exhaustion era, this would be like a great point to check out Moonraker, The Forest. Lanterns is another really good one too. You can see there's tons of songs pins. If you don't know Moonraker, you like the Lawrence Arms, you like No Effects, go check this band out. Dylan, any thoughts on this one, or do you want to get to your next pick?
Yeah, Moonraker's pretty good. They've been around a pretty long time. I want to say about 15 years or so.
Yeah.
I didn't check out their last album, but I've been aware of them for quite a while.
It's badass, man.
I know that it got some pretty high praise from some other people involved in Dying Scene.
All right, so what do you got next? What's your first Lawrence Arms pick?
I got a band from the same state as the Lawrence Arms, Like Bats, from Lansing, Illinois, not Chicago. Yeah, these guys were pretty short-lived, I think. I don't think they were only around for a few years. I think this album you got pulled up here on Spotify is like a compilation. I don't think they ever had a full-length album. I'm pretty sure they just had a bunch of EPs. The one EP I'm most familiar with is their self-titled one, which is their first, and it was more. But this is very like Midwest punk, Banner Pilot, Lawrence Arms ish, and the recording is very like lo-fi, low budget. Pretty sure this was recorded in a bedroom or something. But yeah, just real like grimy, like dirty Midwest punk. If that sounds cool to you, then definitely give Like Bats a try, even though they're long defunct.
I think I had a 7-inch of this band back in the day. It sounds familiar, but I wasn't. Off the top of my head, I can't recall if
this is one of 3 cassettes I own. Is their self-titled EP.
Nice. All right. Well, I'll check this one out.
Prestigious company for Like Bats.
All right. My second pick for Lawrence Arms is going to be Pass Away from Brooklyn, New York. This band has members of Crime in Stereo, I Am the Avalanche. So I mean that should pull you in right there. The song Blue Drinks is so catchy. That's definitely going to be the clip I play. But if you like newer Lawrence Arms, maybe like a little past Oh Calcutta, but still kind of keeping a little of that style, I think this is going to be right in that frame. So that's my pick here. Pass Away for fans of Lawrence Arms, for fans of newer movie life. Definitely check out 39 and the song Blue Drinks. So Dylan, what's your last pick?
All right, I'm being a bad boy, recommending another likely inactive band, but they have a somewhat extensive discography for you to enjoy. We got The Holy Mess from Philadelphia. Yeah. I think they're still active in some capacity, but it sounds like they're kind of a train wreck at this point, and there's like only Steve-O, the singer, is still in the band. Two albums that really stand, the last two, Comfort in the Discord and however the fuck you say the other one. These guys were pretty hot for a bit in like the punk news circles. I really like Comfort in the Discord, especially. Spencer Reed is probably their best song and one of their most popular, the second song on this album. But yeah, definitely in the same realm as Lawrence Arms. They were very good for a brief period in time, and I think that these albums have a lot of staying power.
if I'm not wrong, Dylan, I think the singer is in this band called $500 now, which is also really, really good, which I would recommend. For me, this song Trash Age has always been my favorite track by these guys. But yeah, check out The Holy Mess. And don't quote me on it, but I believe the singer is now in $500. So we're gonna play clips now.
Spencer Reed.
And then we'll be moving on to our last band, Good Riddance.
All right, folks, last band. My first recommendation is kind of cheating. It's a side project of Good Riddance, and it is not only crime.
Oh, you got me.
It is Fury 66, another band from Santa Cruz, California, and I think Russ played guitar in this band. He didn't sing, and I'm pretty sure he was only on one of these albums. I think it was that one, for lack of a better word. I think he was on this one. Yeah, pretty unknown band outside of their local scene. I feel like I think they played some reunion shows in the last few years. But I would say, other than Only Crime, this is about as close to sounding like Good Riddance as any band has ever gotten. And their most popular song, it's probably their most played on Spotify. No, it's actually not. So Blue Strip, I think, is their most popular song. I think it was on a compilation or something. But yeah, definitely sounds almost exactly like Good Riddance, minus the vocals.
I've seen this album everywhere, growing up. I don't know if I've ever listened to it, so I'll check it out too. My first pick is going to be the band Naf Nog. They put out this record Insomnia last year on SBAM. I got it from Melodic Punk Style. I'm just going to take this straight from the band because I think this pretty much describes Good Riddance. They describe themselves straightforward melodic political hardcore punk, which is, pretty much the way I would describe Good Riddance up until My Republic-ish. So if you like the late 90s, actually mid to late 90s Good Riddance, this is kind of in that style. It's a little heavier than Good Riddance, a little more raspy vocals, but I mean, when you play the first song, you're going to have like that spoken word clip, just like a Good Riddance album. There's a lot of parallels here. Don't get confused by the band name looking so much like NoFX. It's definitely heavier, more melodic hardcore than anything like that. My picks are going to be Ungovernable is my favorite track, but Longing for the Sea is also pretty good. So that's going to be my first pick. Dylan, what is your last pick of the episode?
All right, I'm finishing strong here. Another California band, Another Damn Disappointment. And they haven't released an album in a while, but I do believe they have something in the works. Their most popular album, Relentless, which is my favorite, it was actually reissued on vinyl, I'm seeing here in recent years. But it was by a Canadian label, so it's like $40 shipped to the US. So I'm like, fuck, man. Good album, great album though. Another band that was popular in the early 2010s in online punk rock like forums and stuff. And this is a fantastic album. The whole thing just fucking rips from straight beginning to end. I don't know if you've heard of these guys before, but they're pretty fucking good.
I've heard of them. I've seen this album. I thought they were on Go-Kart, unless I'm thinking of another ADD band, but
it was Felony Records.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Chaser used to be on.
I'll have to refresh. But you're right. It looks like they released. Oh, this is just reissues, maybe.
Apparently, they have another album that's finished recording and stuff, but they just haven't released it. So look out for that. I think that some like the guitarist or someone from the band shared it on Facebook or something at one point, but I missed the train on that. But definitely underrated band.
All right, so my last pick is gonna be another newer band. This album came out last year. This is Steel Justice from Belgium. The album is called "The Way the Cookie Crumbles." This came out last year on Bearded Punk Records. So the first band I had kind of is like early Good Riddance, very heavy. This is gonna be My Republic era and beyond, kind of more the melodic style that Good Riddance kind of adapted themselves to. That's what I hear a lot of on this album. My favorite track is going to be "The Way the Cookie Crumbles," the title track, and "Acid Love" number 5. I think I had this when I first started doing videos, like the Radar Detector episodes. I think this was like the first album I featured. It's still one that I come back to now and then. And a little spoiler alert that I think My Republic's going to be either my S or my A tier in the Good Riddance tier list video. So this is definitely more the style of Good Riddance that I listen to. So highly recommended album. Dylan, that's going to wrap it up. Anything to say about Steel Justice or Nafnog? You hear either of those two records?
I need to listen to them, but I share the appreciation of My Republic. I think that's a very, very good album. So this is that's a ringing endorsement of Steel Justice. So I will check them out based on that description. Also, honorable mention to Only Crime, the other side project.
Of course, Only Crime is badass, man.
I was gonna recommend them, but they're a little too well known in my opinion. And I think that this band is the best band Zach Blair from Rise Against has ever been involved in.
Without
much better than Rise Against.
What I'll say about this is kind of Good Riddance. I love Good Riddance, but it's, very formulaic, right? And then if you throw on Only Crime, it's
like weird time signatures and shit.
It's very more like it's more Descendants all mixed with Good Riddance. It really, if you haven't heard this,
well, Sean Sellers is a fantastic drummer, but Bill Stevenson is just a whole nother animal. Like, he's on another level from anybody. He's just crazy drummer.
Yeah, this is why. Like, don't put this on expecting like a run of the mill like pop punk beat through this, because it'll beat you in the head. It's really good. This one's my favorite, Virulence, but I also like Pursuance, Contagious.
Virulence.
Yeah. However you say it. I'm constantly pronouncing shit wrong. It's all right. But that's going to do it for this episode. If you are still watching and you want to support the channel further, head to punkrockradar.com and also hit the subscribe button, like button, all that shit. Helps grow the channel. Dylan, anything else? This is our third or fourth video today. We do change clothes. I promise you that we did all these videos today on Saturday. Dylan even changed his hat. Anything else to say, man?
Thanks for watching. Check out the bands. Sorry I recommended a lot of bands that aren't around anymore, but I mean, like, the music still exists, so you have that to enjoy.
All right, so that's gonna wrap up, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.